Look at these unbroken objects. To count a single sun, 2 cars, or 3 round apples, whole numbers do exactly what we need. But that counting system reaches its limit the moment an object is broken, divided, or incomplete. Whole numbers have no way to describe a portion of a unit. We need a different tool. Slicing a pizza into 4 equal wedges creates a fraction. The 4 slides to the bottom, the denominator, tracking the total parts. Selecting 3 wedges drops a 3 on top, the numerator, showing how many parts we hold. At its core, a fraction is simply a tracking system. It compares the pieces you hold against the total number of pieces available. This system is flexible. It works whether you are describing quantities smaller than a single object or amounts that exceed it. These are proper fractions, like 1/2 or 5/8. The top number is smaller than the bottom, which means the total value is always less than 1 whole. That the system also has to account for situations where you have more individual pieces than a single whole object can hold. 7 individual pizza slices, each 1/3 of a pie, equals 7/3. This improper fraction has a larger numerator. We translate this to a mixed number by grouping the parts. The slices merge into 2 whole circles, leaving 1 leftover third, becoming 2 and 1/3. Fractions maintain a continuous measurement scale, mapping out quantities that fall outside the boundaries of whole numbers. This flexibility allows us to use different sets of numbers to describe the exact same physical amount. This circle has exactly 1/2 filled in. Cutting the shape down the middle multiplies the numbers by 2, making it 2/4. The highlighted area remains exactly the same. Slicing the pieces in half again doubles them to 4/8, keeping the physical proportion constant. These are equivalent fractions, different numbers that hold the exact same value. Since larger numbers can be more difficult to work with, we often need to return these fractions to their simplest form. Here is 8/12 next to a 12-box grid. To simplify, we find the highest common factor, dividing the 8 and 12 by 4. The fraction becomes 2/3, and the grid merges into a simpler 3-part layout. The ratio remains identical, expressed more efficiently. Equivalence and simplification prove that fractions are an adaptable language of proportion, scaling to fit the calculation we need. We can also apply this language to entire populations. In this classroom, we are looking at a group of 30 individual students. If 2/5 of these students happen to wear glasses, we can use the fraction to find the exact head count. First, we divide the total group by the denominator, 5. This tells us the value of 1 single part. 1/5 of the classroom equals exactly 6 students. Because we need 2/5, multiply that baseline by the numerator. 6 times 2 gives us 12. In a class of 30, 12 students are wearing glasses. Fractions are more than just digits on a page. They provide the vocabulary we need to navigate and share a world that doesn't always come in whole pieces.